immediately after engineering, thinking that I'll be here only for 1 month. That is a different story. When I was in Madurai, I don't even frame a single sentence in. I'm not really one can be there.
It's easier to watch.
No, we want to watch. I will be here. So, I get passed out from my engineering in 2007. How long do I have? Like 2 minutes, 3 minutes? Should I get it? Or
Very easy. He's asking how long.
how long should I? What would I say? Oh my God! So nice of you people. I got a product in Madurai. So like all my product is in matriculation school, but still something is there in Madurai. We don't speak in Tamil. So till my 18 years, I don't even frame a single sentence in English, and whatever I'm talking now, it's all after my 18 years. So it's all started with A says B says B at 18 years, and slowly turned into a communication class. And that is where I got to understand most of my juniors in the college also have the same problem. So I started teaching them whatever I learned from the classes that I went. So that is when I started building myself to preach people. So those days I was preaching the communication. Then I got like, when I start speaking in English, I'll get a good job. Then I got to understand something has to be done. I studied engineering in a way like first semester 1 year, second semester 2 years, third semester 3 years. That's how my engineering was. So that's good. And you can't I cleared all my papers in 4 years and I got my degree. So I thought like if I have good communication, I'll get a job. I attended some 21 interviews during my college and I didn't clear any of the interviews. So Vijay Kapoor is a company who came to my college for MBA, to recruit MBA for business analyst. So that time I was, since I'm good in communication, I talk with people. Good in communication is like I talk well with people. I can get along with them, I can build rapport. So I was like coordinating the interviews. So after the whole day of interview at 9:30 in the evening, late evening, I went to the HR. So being a volunteer in the placement drive, I've been talking to the HR, giving him tea, coffee, best participants list. So that was the interaction I had the whole day. And that evening I went to the HR and told her that I need a job. I want to come to Chennai. And he told me like, what is your qualification? I told like I wrote my final semester exams. I'm waiting for my management papers. Definitely I will clear it. And he told me like, you are just a UG, what job could I give you? I'm ready to do anything. I want to come to Chennai because I had a very bad day in Chennai. I came to Chennai to search for a job. I was not able to survive in the city for 1 day. I went back to Madurai. So I really wanted to get a job and come to Chennai. So I was like desperately begging him for a job. He told me, definitely I can give you a job, but I know what job I can do. He asked me, do you have vacuum cleaner? With a pride, I told him like, yes, I have. It's what is the color? Sandal and red. You know how your parents bought it? Their uncle came and sold it at my home. I can give you only that job. So I thought like, okay, for now I need to come to Chennai. I said okay for the job. I took the offer. I came to Chennai. The next building is my office where I came on the first day. We did all the joining formalities. Well, our first job, how our first jobs will be 1 month of training, 2 months of training, 3 months of training. I expected like I'll be here in Vijay Kapoor only for 1 month where I'm going to where I'll be under training for 1 month under the roof. Definitely I'm not going to sell vacuum cleaners. By the time I'll leave the job. So second day, these people put me in the field. Second day they asked me to come to this main road. We were outside the office and we were like 17 people and I had a tier and my tier was like morning 6:30. We are. How many vacuum cleaners are we going to sell today? He motivated us and we are all motivated and now we are there in the field and I was given a field trainer who is Kumar, a very small boy who been failed in 10th standard for 3 times. So he ran away from his village and he came here and he's selling vacuum cleaners and he's my field trainer. So we start our day in a way like 7:30 RTL will leave us and I need to sell vacuum cleaners on knocking the doors. 7:30 they come to your home, will you open the door? 8:30? 9:30? 10:30? So till that, we need to spend time on the street where we will go eat. He tells me like there is a bread omelette shop near this park. So we will eat bread omelette, we will have tea, coffee, everything. start knocking the door. And if they let us in, I'll be doing a pitch in a way like, ma'am, sitting here, you can clean the floor here, there, nest room and nest house. And she really wanted the vacuum cleaner. But she says like, Kana, could you come in the evening or could you come in the weekend? Because who has to take the decision? So I'll go in the weekend and I will be pitching to the husband. I can't go and tell him like, so sitting here you can clean there, here, this room and this house. Now I'll be pitch. I need to pitch the offers, spec, warranty, guarantee. And that's where like I learned who is the consumer and customer. So very early stage of my life, I started learning this. Any product we develop will have a consumer and customer. And along with that, at a very early stage, I also got to understand there will be influencer also. And that is where like I started seeing products. It will have a consumer, it will have a customer, and who is influencing the product to be there in the market. And also, then it's all a regular. I was working with you. I wanted to be in Vijay Kapoor only for 1 month, but that has become my cup of tea. I was with them for 4 years. I was getting down south for Vijay Kapoor. I was handling vacuum cleaner, Eurovigil. Eurovigil is their security cameras. So it's all started in Chennai, knocking doors, selling all this. I started with vacuum cleaner, then I was selling Eurovigil. The good thing, my engineering technique in a way is like when everyone is knocking the residential doors, I decided if I knock a residential door to sell this security cameras, Eurovigil, they might buy 6 cameras, 8 cameras. If I knock a commercial building, under construction commercial building. So definitely I could add more number of cameras. It would be like the first order with my Eurovigil is 40 cameras in the ASP towers in T Nagar. So that is where everything started. And in the same building in ASP towers 2009, I was selling the Eurovigil. And 2019 I signed up strategy consulting for 5.5 lakhs of contract to bring their innovation into market. So that is how like understanding the market helped me to develop more number of products. And in 2014 I was looking for a product to sell in the market. Being a girl who sold vacuum cleaners, even if it is a broomstick, I would have started selling it. Pretty good thing. I met Dr. Anil, who is my R&D partner today. So he had a virginal disinfectant with him. He's been developing that for 8 years when I met him. So he told like, I don't know how to position this product in the market. Then a girl who is ready to sell a broomstick in the market, giving me something that is a medical device. I was like so curious and I was like super excited. I told him like I will sell the product in the market. Till today I'm zeroing technology, but I'm good in market. I'm good in sales. I can sell anything.
Anybody who sells a vacuum cleaner can actually sell any product in the country. I know this for a fact because it's such a tough product.
Yes. So today I own 2 companies. One is Intermo Medical Devices, where we design and develop medical devices. So my responsibility is to bring in the capital for the project and to position the product in the market. And the strategy I do is like since I'm zero in technology, I never get my team to develop any technology without the order. So I'll bring the opportunity, I'll bring the order, only then the team starts building it. And when I search this in the market, I'll look into, in a way, it's like, what is the problem? We all know that we need to understand the problem first, intensity of the problem first. And my experience in Vijay Kapoor has taught me one thing, right? Whom are you going to sell this vacuum cleaner that is 7,500 rupees? Whom are you going to sell this steam cleaner which is 21,000 rupees? Whom are you going to sell this industrial cleaner which is 1.5 lakhs? So I know very well. So also when I do this market research, I will also understand are the people ready to pay for this solution, and also how much do they pay for the solution. So before even we go to the proof of the concept, I started developing proof of the problem. So that is my expertise. So today I am reaching the same to the startups and corporates. I work with Mandu, Ashok Leyland, Petroleum Development, Oman. So when it comes to like higher engagement with the institutions, I work with National University of Singapore, I work with Sriram College of Commerce and all. So that is all like I do a high level of engagement with design thinking where I'm helping them to develop a product that will be market fit. So this is about
And now I would request Vijay sir to enlighten us your thoughts.
I love you guys. Yes, I love you.
Love you.
Love you, sir.
You must be wondering what an entrepreneur standing here and speaking for the what's not to do anything, especially financial professional who is only loves for money. First love is money, not money.
First level is numbers.
Numbers, yeah, absolutely. So the reason why I say love is because I always believe love is the only emotion for me. Love, so important. Because if there's no love, there's no life. We live in a world where all the problems that we face, whether it's your family problems, whether it's your religious problems, or whether it's wars that we're facing in the world, it's all because of lack of compassion, lack of love, lack of empathy, and lack of understanding one another. So if we're able to get into a world where we're able to love for the sake of love, unconditional love, it's very, very difficult, easy to preach, easy to stand on the dais and speak about it. But I believe even love can be practiced through the work that we do. That's what I believe. For me, another definition of love is responsibility. If I love someone, I will take responsibility for the person. That is actually love in action. It's so easy to speak about anything else. So when we speak about garment industry from which I represent, the fashion industry, from that I come. It's the second most producing industry in the world. After oil and natural gas, garments. That's because of fast fashion. That's because of the amount of unnecessary production that we make. Then we go into discount sales. Then we try to sell that is not sold. And have you ever thought we buy something without வாங்கிடுறோம் வாங்கினது ஒரு 2 வாட்டி போடுறோம் போட்டு பிறகு போடுறீங்க வேற எப்படி how many of you understand Tamil or how many of you don't understand Tamil? You're comfortable? Yes, have you ever thought about what? Where do we dispose all the clothes and the thing that we come? Where does it go? We just buy it because we like it. We don't even want to repeat the clothes that we want that, and then we dump it, and it goes into landfills. And when it goes into landfill, especially the product is something like not biodegradable, it's polished, it's synthetic. Today, about 80-90% of products that are used are synthetic products. They're not natural fibers. The first plastic that was invented about 400 years back is still alive. It's still not biodegradable. So the amount of ecological imbalance that we're creating, and we have some presidents of countries saying that climate change is not real, there's no global warming. Global warming is real, climate change is real, and each one of us is responsible for it. So as a brand at Gavi, what we say is we are a responsible menswear brand, or பொறுப்புணர்ச்சியான men's ஆடைகள் brand. Responsibility word itself means responding with ability, responsibility. What ability that we have to respond to this global warming situation, climate change situation, is some question that we ask ourselves. And answer for that is we will be a responsible brand. We will ensure that we make more fabrics that is using natural fibers, cotton, linens, lyocell, bamboo. Can we ensure there will be jeans community? So we're speaking about jeans, a very big part of our, and jeans is a very intensive product to make. It's a sustainable product. It's very, very intensive because we use about 500 liters of water to wash a single denim. So today we have come up with chemical-free, water-free technology, wherein we use technology that's ozonated so that we're able to use the same effect that you find, the wash effect that you find in denim, without what, how can you use it? Even if we use chemicals, can we ensure the chemicals are not harmful to nature? Can we dispose them? Can we use the water that we use in any of the garment treatment? Can we use it about 40-50 times and then extract the entire waste out of it so that it becomes almost potable water and then use it for watering the plants, watering the garden, or watering the forest area around the factories. So a lot of these are, is there any renewable energy in what we do? Is it all only coal, or we speak about the energy? Can we use some renewable energy? Is there any solar that we get? Can you get any wind? So all these things are what we take into garment production and what we do. So that's what Gavi today is. It's a men's fashion wear brand, the jeans community. We are integrated right from fashion forecasting. We have designers who forecast what the fashion is going to be for tomorrow. Fashion designing. We do merchandising in terms of understanding what will be the type of appropriate fabric that we use, how do we make garments that people will fall in love with. Because unless until you don't fall in love with the garment, and unless until you don't pay a premium for it, we have a habit, what comes free and what comes cheap, what we do, we don't respect it. When you don't respect it, then it becomes something disposable. So how do we make people fall in love with what they buy? Not in love what they buy, they have to fall in love with it. So that they use the product and extract value out of it. Repeated uses, ensure. We also come up with a lot of programs where we recycle denim, we upcycle denim, we have denim, pulling back denim. So a lot of these stuff what we do. Fashion forecasting, fashion designing, merchandising so that we are manufacturing the right way, production, supply chain. We also retail through our own stores. We retail through e-commerce. We run about 50 Darby stores. We retail through e-commerce. We are available through family stores, large format stores. This is what Darby basically is about, and that's the current situation. But when I started, that was not the situation. I'm 54 years old. I have an amazing wife whom I've been married for about 27 years now. And we have a 24-year-old son who's also, he studied in New York. He's been there for the last 5 years, come back to join the business. So when I started off, you see my height, 5 feet 5 inches, not very tall, short. So I was bullied all through my school, college, hula, market. Because I used to be a dud at studies. I resonated more on this thing. I used to get dud at studies, and in our days, the marks would be told openly, the mark sheet would be put up on the notice board. Anyone know your marks? It's not like today's your A grade, B grade. There's some dignity to kids. Absolutely, everybody knows I will be on the bottom half of the whole thing. So it used to be very difficult for me. And as soon as I get into class, I try to go run, sit in back bench because backbenchers, very, very comfortable, very happy to be there. But the teacher will come and see a short guy sitting in the back. He cannot see the board, so he say, come, sit in the front. So I'm sitting in the front never used to be a fun place to sit because I love particular person. That's all. So so it used to be very difficult to sit in the front bench because they'll all ask me, Vijay, you are not going. And when I came to I had to tell them, you are not going. I'm going to become an engineer, I'm going to become a doctor, I'm going to do IIT. And I know with my marks, I don't see a future like that. And I cannot go out even life because my marks is right there on the board. So I should tell them now, I'm going to become an entrepreneur, I'm going to become a businessman. My father is working as a sports journalist in Indian Express Bangalore, earning 1,500 rupees, 5 kids, I'm studying in a school, it's a Christian missionary school because of church. Someone donated the money, so I'm studying there. So I knew I would never do that. But I never realized the power of the mind. What you say, what you believe is what you eventually become. So I'm asking you this question right now. What do you speak about yourself? What is the self-talk? It's not about what others tell you. What is your self-talk to yourself? How do you hold yourself? How do you define yourself? I used to define myself as full, as short, because that's what the world told me. Are we defining ourselves by the way we look? Our height, our weight, our color. Are we still doing that after so many years? Are we defining ourselves by the current economic situations that we are in? I don't know what the economic situation is. But are we defining ourselves and confining ourselves to that? Are we defining ourselves by the relationship issues that we face, whether it's with in-laws, or with this partner, or with friends? How are we defining what's the self-talk? Interesting. If you need a correction, I think it's time to correct. But I never realized at that point of time the power of the subconscious mind, what you think and what you tell yourself, what you eventually become. I'm telling you this because I went through school, went through college, never once went up with us, never got any award. Very low self-esteem. Got out of college, went to my first day at work at 20. Got a sales training work with Maxwell Orchard, selling farmlands. Some land, 300 acres of land in Tirunelveli, break it up to quarter acre, 1 acre land, we had to knock those and go and tell them, please pay a lakh of rupees and get this. You will get non-resident farming, so you will get tax-free income. I think you have heard that scheme. Sterling Group, they had Maxwell Orchard, so I was among the first few guys to join after the president, to join the company. And it's only when I went to work, I realized, In the Terminal, I was able to sell. I was able to sell. I was able to convince people. I was able to put in the hard work. When all my colleagues would get into work at 9:30 in the morning, then go to Woodlands, have a gum, have a cigarette, have a tea, and then get into work. I will get into work by 7:30. Actually, I should knock doors at 7:30 because I know the people will get home. You get thrown out, it doesn't matter. I used to knock doors at that point of time, saying that I want to meet you, I want to discuss something. And after work, when all of them will finish at 6:30, do the daily sales report and go back home, I should again go back to the market, meet people at home, because a lot of times they're not comfortable speaking of investments at work. They'll feel more comfortable coming. So I used to do that. So when everyone was struggling to do 60%, 70% target, I was able to achieve 150, 200% consistently month after month. So my salary used to be 1,250, but my incentive used to be about 10, 15,000 rupees every month. So I had a lot of money for that point of time, which I started saving. Something very interesting happened on my first day of work. Coming from a middle class family, never knowing, so all my clothes were usually second hand. Some uncle will use and give me, or my brother who is much taller will give me. His half trouser will be 3-4 trouser. His shoe will be about 8, 9, minus 7 size. They should put. A lot of you have gone through that. Altering everyone's clothes and wearing. That used to be normal in those days. No shame in it. So I never knew how to dress. So got out of college. When they sent me to first day at work, they said, go and meet this gentleman in this apartment. I went to the apartment, Alku Soka, rubber chappal, roll up. So I'm here, security men stopped me outside. Now I kill a father. Anybody coming? Meeting it. He's determined that this person is not dressed enough to go inside. He's not fit enough to walk into the apartment. So he told me, Thambi, on the gate or board at the lecture one. So I went to the gate to see the board. The board written clogs and salesmen not allowed. 9 and salesmen not allowed. And this used to be very common. I was speaking about 92, 91, 92. It used to be very common. I started crying. I had tears in my eyes. Then our manager would go, there's nothing wrong with a dog, there's nothing wrong with animals, but there's a difference between a human and an animal. You cannot treat human beings like animals, and you cannot discriminate them. So I felt very offended. I didn't know what to do. I went back home, I cried the whole night. Next day, with a little bit of money, about 100 or 150 rupees in the pocket, I went to a brand called Kumar Shirts. So I bought a polyester shirt, my trouser, borrowed a red color type of friend. Wore the old Bata shoes, black shoes. I don't know how many of you know the Bata shoes those days. Polished it and went back to the work. And as Providence would have it, the same security man was there, the early day was standing there. And then this new avatar, dressed smartly, with a tie, he never didn't want to come in. Saluted Chula Mama servants. So that was one of my first realization and understanding about life. The world judges a book by its cover. Your ways, your methods, your dressing sense should represent the industry you come from. If you're not able to do that, then people, it's a judging point. It's very idly, you should love everyone. People should not judge you by the car you come by, the house you live in, or your dressing sense. But we don't live in that world. So dressing is so important. That's when I understood. So this was my first day of work. Life went on after that. I started dressing well. I understood what dressing was. So eventually, when I wanted to start my business, I asked myself this question: Vijay, what is the problem I can solve? Because entrepreneurship is nothing but finding a problem in the world and giving a solution to it. The better the solution, the larger the problem, the more you want it. That's what entrepreneurship is. If you're able to put a business idea around it, if you're able to put a business model around it, and execute it well, you can succeed. So I asked myself, what is it that I can do? So I decided that I would put 10,000 rupees, buy 2 second-hand tailoring machines. I remember my first day at work, I said, how many thousands of Vijay Kapoor are not able to dress well in this world? Can I find a solution for them? And that's how I started my tailoring. Even in college, girly, gentleman outfitters with 2 tailoring machines, 200 square feet boutique at Egmore, Chennai, in year 1994. It's more than about 31 years since I started. And that's how long the journey has been. But I'm not here to speak to you about my journey and anything. I'm here to discuss something very different. I believe life is not about one dimension. We all come from the finance profession, we are all concerned with numbers and money. Unfortunately, one of the only metrics that we have to judge a person's success is money. Unfortunately, that's the only metrics. But I always believe money is not the only metrics in which you can judge your success. Especially as you grow, you need to ensure that you have a multi-dimensional success, only then you can consider yourself success. Health is such an important part of life. I mean, I remember what the owner of Standard Motors said when he sold his company. I wasted all my health to gain this wealth. Now I realize all my wealth will not be back in health. Health lost is health lost. I don't know how many of us have the habit. I've seen so many of my friends, have gems like tablets in night. One is for BP, another is for sugar, another is for heart. What will you use if you're not willing to invest on yourself, take care of yourself? Because if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't take care of ourselves, we're going to be a nuisance value to all the people who love us. Now, when you fall sick, your loved ones, you're lying down in the ICU, you've got a heart attack, air condition, clean environment, exposing your lungs to every nurse who comes for the injection. You have plumbing lines all around you. You're comfortable out there, sedated, but your loved ones have you sitting on the bench outside, not knowing whether you're going to come back or not. It's a torture for them. It's not worth it. A stroke, one side out. What do you do? Are we investing? Because the body has been designed in such a way that if the body had a voice, the body will say, give me 1 hour, take care of me 1 hour. I can take care of you for the rest of 23 hours. The body had a voice, I can tell you that. Because the body cannot take care of itself. You need to invest time to take care of your body. So I'm asking you, are you investing quality time? Are you only tongue conscious? Are you also health conscious? Tongue is only 6 inches. We always are very tongue conscious. We slip for everything. Are you only tongue conscious? Are you also health conscious? Can we ensure we invest some quality time in taking care of health? Because we don't want to be a nuisance value to the rest of the family. Neither do we. A lot of us own businesses. So something happens to us, the business should not suffer. Health. Wealth. I'm not going to speak about wealth in this world. What money can do, money alone can do. In fact, I feel entrepreneurship is one of the greatest form of social service. Because when you're an entrepreneur, when you're developing a business, you're able to generate employment. And that's the only way you can lift people out of poverty. If India needs to progress, if India needs to become a developed country, we need entrepreneurs, we need professionals like you who are able to go out there and employ more people, create more job opportunities. And when you're able to lift someone from employment, by giving them dignity and not charity. Charity keeps a poor man poor. You feed someone today, you feel good karma. But it keeps a poor man poor. You're only keeping them in the cycle of poverty. Unless until you're able to provide them employment. When you provide someone employment, you ensure that that person and the generations to come after that will not know pasi, will not know poverty, will not know starvation. So that's how you break and end poverty. That's how you live. So what money can do, money only can do. Each one of us have to be super rich, no doubt about it. But we said one metric is money. What's the quality of the relationship in your life? Is your spouse telling you, especially since me being a man, I'm asking myself, does your wife look at you and ask, do you love me or do you love my body? There's no non-sexual touch today in the marriage. Only when the sex is involved, there's touch. Do we actually express ourselves to our partners? Is your spouse saying, I can see a father, I can see a brother, I can see a son, I can see an 18, anytime money. That is a husband. I'm asking you this question because I want you to proud and ask yourself, what's the quality of your relationship? Because I've seen so many marriages break. Once the kids grow up, go to school, go to college, and fly the nest. Husbands are not able to relate with each other. Husbands, spouses are not able to relate with each other. They stop going out on holidays together because they say, if I go on a 5-day holiday together, we'll get bored. Let's go on a group holiday. 10 couples, 5 couples. That was the last time you went on a honeymoon. With every passing year, the depth of your marriage, the love in your marriage has to deepen. You need to get to know one another better. Because I asked many of you what's the color of your wife's eye, or asked you what's the color of your husband's eye. I don't know how many of you will even know. I probably not. I probably know the eye color of some actor or some actress. What's the depth of relationship? Not only with your spouse, but I'm asking what's the depth of relationship with your parents? Do your parents feel respected? Yes, you've given them a bath, you've given them a room, yes, you've given them best of health care, but do you have time for them? before you go back when you come back home? Are you investing quality time with your parents? Are they telling? Are you hugging your parents? Because the language of love, the touch. How many times do you hug your parents? How many times do you? Touching them is different thing. I'm asking how many times you're hugging them. Do they feel the love, especially if they lost one of the partners? They start the love. Are you able to give them time to sit with them and speak to them? Because no matter how late you come back, even your wife may go to sleep, but your mother will be waiting there. Then ask here, what do you want to eat? The mother's always there. Does she get the love that she deserves? I'm asking, what's the quality of your love? What's the quality of the relationship? Health, wealth, love. How happy are you? What's your happiness? You go home stressed. Is work stressing you? The goal of every goal is happiness, is peace. Why did we go to school? Why did our parents go to school? Thinking if we go to school, we'll get a good education. Why do we get a good education? So that you get a good job. You get a good job, you have money. We start a business so that we can be happy. But end of the day, the business is stressing us so much. Why will you sell your hand to buy a home? Why will you start something that's going to stress you when you already have something? Stress is there. Work stress will be there. Please don't tell me, I'm not telling you there will not be any stress at work. But what is the quality of your peace? Are you centered? Do you understand how to handle it? Do you understand how to handle stress? Do you understand how to bring quality into your peace? How happy are you? What's happening? Do you go back stressed home? Are you vomiting at home as soon as you go back? Are you going back with a loving partner? Or are you having again the same, all the work stress coming and showing you back at home? What's a spiritual connect? What's a spiritual connect? How peaceful are you? What's a spiritual connect? Because human beings that we are will always be tested. We will be tested. There will be good times, there will be bad times. We need the spiritual connect if you need to bounce back. Because if those of you who are Hindus who have heard about Mahabharata, what happened in the battlefield, both Arjuna as well as Duryodhana were facing the same challenge. Arjuna had Krishna to fall back on, and Duryodhana had Shakuni Mama to fall back on. So when Arjuna fell back on Krishna, he rose to become much better. And when Duryodhana fell back on Shakuni Mama, he felt better. So what's your spiritual connect? What is your spiritual practices that keep you peaceful, that keeps you centered? Are you investing some quality time? We've spoken so much about mindfulness. I'm sure it will come to you. I'm not just speaking about chanting, I'm not just speaking about doing puja, I'm just not speaking about rituals. I'm speaking about mindfulness. I'm speaking about awareness. I'm speaking about how you think, how you feel, and what you do. Because human being is only defined in these three: your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and what you do. Because unless until you don't have, I started the whole thing about speaking about subconscious mind. The power of the mind is the power of the mind. The power of the man is the power of the mind. The power of the mind is the power of his subconscious mind. The power of subconscious mind is all in your thoughts. What are the thoughts you're holding in your mind? Thoughts become thoughts. Things are thoughts manifested. All thoughts, all things were once a thought. Not all thoughts become things. So how do you make your thoughts powerful? You can have all these dreams that you have, that I will make $1 billion organization, I'll have amazing, fitness in my life, I'll have an amazing relationship with my spouse, I'll ensure. But not everything manifests because of the power of the mind. Mindfulness. Are you able to invest quality time of actually sitting and introspecting as to how you think? What are your feelings? Are your feelings all about anger, frustration? Is there love, compassion? And ultimately, what you think and what you feel will translate into action. So I don't want to give a discourse, I don't want to give a lecture, but I just want to leave ourselves with this thought if you had 20 marks for each of these, health, from 0 to 20, where do you rate yourself? Wealth, have you achieved your goals from 0 to 20? Was the quality of your relationships? Was the quality of your happiness? And was the quality of your spiritual connect, your peace? If you have to rate yourself and put that sum total, where is it? So when you do that actually, do that exercise, 20 marks for each, that totals to 100. And find out that is your life score. And that will give you a concept, that will give you an idea about where you actually need to invest time. Because fortunately, unfortunately, when it comes to business, when it comes to work, we are always thought that you need to have a strategy before you get into a year. You cannot get into a year without a strategy. You have a strategy for your life. Are you living life year after year blindly? Are you giving a thought, what should be my family goal with my spouse, with my children, with my parents? What should be my goal for myself? Do you love yourself? You can only give what you have. If I have hatred, I can share my hatred with you. If I have love, I can share my love with you. You can only give what you have. If I have money, I can share money with you. If I have poverty, what will I share with you? So do you love yourself? Are you having me time? Are you spending quality time with yourself? Loving yourself, accepting yourself, and improving yourself? So do you have these goals? So strategy is not just about outside, it's also about inside. What's quality of life you want to live? How are you going to live your life? How are you going to live? If you have time, I'd like to take a few Q&A. Do you have time? I'd like to take a question and answer session. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to discuss with you. I'm not here to. Anyone, any questions? Because I want this to be, we have a very small group over here.
It's very beautiful to listen to the story of how you that's not one thing that you really learned out of your life journey that you applied to your life and
See, in my life I've seen everything. I've almost got close to my life. One morning, 7 years into marriage, they say the 7-year itch, or 7-year itch, whatever it's called, is real. 7th year into marriage, I think I was thinking my wife will come and take aarti for me, put a garland on me. I bought her a beautiful home. We're living in one of the posh location, Westernweather, we're living in a bungalow. Then she's got her personal car, she's got a drive wash, she's got diamond jewelry, gold jewelry. You be successful. 7 years in marriage, you be successful. I'm traveling 20 days a month, jet flying all over India. I'm going on international holidays with my wife. She will be worshipping me. And I go for breakfast, sit in breakfast table, and along with breakfast, she serves me those breakfast. I said, what's wrong? Because according to me, I'm a great husband. He said, what's right? I was so naive, I never understood what is she going through. My wife was a gold medalist from doctor, physiotherapist from one of the best colleges in Kolkata. She came, she worked with Apollo Hospital, and she worked with me in the brand till her son was born. And she always had very ambitious and very ambitious woman, and she was wanting to do something. But I was so self-centered that I never understood what she was doing. It's only when you're going through a divorce, court mandates that you need to do something called counseling session. Because only when I went to a counseling session, a counselor asked me what's the problem you're facing. And I was scratching my head and saying, I don't have any problem. I'm very happy in the marriage. And then my wife would say, 100 list of 100 things that's not going right. I say, wow. That's when I realized that Hindi is nothing but a recording button. All those things that happened, all those years, all those hurts, what your mother said, what you did, you do this, you do this. But one of the most important things I realized was that your partner also has aspirations. He's not a man who stands by his wife. It's one thing to stand by your wife and say, anything you want to do, I will support you. But he's a true man who stands for his wife. What you want to tell me, I will be there with you at every. So the counseling session is when I realized I was going completely wrong. I was thinking everything was right, but nothing was going right. I was very happy in the marriage. And she was fed up with marriage, thinking he's a guy who's so self-centered, He's only thinking about himself, his success. He's not bothered about me and a son. While again my marriage spoiling my time with him, and I can go and create something on my own. Very good. So for 2 years, we went through this from 7th year to 9th year. It was a very stressful time for me because I used to be like Devdas, sitting and doing coloring in the office, creating greeting cards. She would go for a walk, and I will be about 50 meters behind her walking. I will, create dates. I will give roses to her, and she would say, "Solradhukku mari irukara, nijama mari irukara. You love me, you love my body." For 2 years, she didn't even let me touch her. There should be a pillow between us. Very clear. No, you're not. I don't believe all these drama that you're doing. I don't believe this at all. You're doing all drama nonsense. But I also realize that I need to change. There cannot be some things. God has been very kind. I realize that there cannot be a smoke without fire. If I'm seeing smoke out there is fire. I need to introspect and get myself right. Because generally when you go through divorce, when you go through counseling, it's completely mud flinging, it gets very dirty. Each one of us arguing, fighting, and it gets pretty messy. But she was clear. Married, we have a son. Anything we do, we'll do dignified. We'll never disrespect each other outside in public. Whatever we have, even a son should not know what's happening. Within the four walls of our private bedroom, we'll have a discussion. Because she was very dignified. She said she's not going to give me any harm, that I'm not going to exist here. But then I realized that I was doing a lot of things. I needed to correct myself. So I started cutting my travel, started giving time to family, starting to understand what she wants me to do for her. Because I never understood her perspective. When even in counseling. Secondly, she wanted to start a practice. So I helped her set up her own studio. She's a childbirth educator. She was the first one to pioneer the concept. All the superstars, Surya, Jyotika, Vikram, you name them, gynecologists, everyone come to her for that pregnancy. So she is number one in the industry. She's today also written 27 books. She's one of the most successful authors, multiple international awards, and so I helped her set up a practice and set her whole thing up. 2 years it took me to actually convince her that. And when she saw that,
You're not acting.
I'm not acting. Second is, she worked on herself. Because you cannot clap with just one hand. You need 2 palms for it to think. She also realized my perspective. When she started her business and she knew at the end of the month, you need to pay salary. You need to pay this, you need to pay that. She also realized that, hey, this guy has to, I will not call him 5 times and find out whether he ate lunch or in a meeting he will not call back. Or his travel, sometimes he may forget to call. She also realized the hardship about what an entrepreneur is when she went through the entrepreneur journey, which was into 6 months at the start, 1.5 years, she realized a lot of things. So she made a lot of changes within herself to understand the man's perspective what's happening. Because that's how relationship operates. Relationship on never one side. You cannot clap with the hands. And today, 9th year to 27 years, probably it's a role model of a marriage. Not that we've not had our own challenges, because relationship, marriage needs work every day. It needs work every day. You need to get up, you need to make a commitment, you need to ensure you need to give it your best, she needs to give it her best, and only then marriage is work. If you want a beautiful marriage, you need to invest time in it. You need to have quality relationship, you need to have communication, you need to have a vision together, otherwise you don't do relationship. So one thing on relationship. I went bankrupt. I started super fast, all this happened, went on a national expansion, international expansion, and 3 years, 4 years into it, expansion not working, opened up stores in all the top malls, my rents are 6 lakhs, 7 lakhs, my sale is about 8 lakhs, that means I'm just burning money. So I lost about 35 crores, big money at that point of time, 2012, I lost 35 crores at that point of time. I had shut down the business, I had to take people, picked up Kandavati, 50% interest, desperate at that point of time. When you're desperate, your mind doesn't work. You just want to get out of the problem. You need to face, people be sitting outside the home to collect money. So it used to be horrible. So went through really torturous time. In spite of all the thing, my back broke in the sense, the stress fussing, it breaks your back. That's why it says, people get so broken back, the people used to take me to stretcher and take me to work, but I need to turn up to work every day. Otherwise, how do you answer people? I cannot run away from what I think. So one thing I realized, whenever people go through trouble, whether it is your financial trouble, or whether it's your relationship trouble, or you lose someone you love, people go through stress. And stress comes in so many different ways. 3 things people give up. First, thing what people give up is their family time. First thing people give up is family time because you're not able to invest time with your spouse, you're not able to invest time with your. You don't want to also because when you come back home, your parents are waiting for you asking you, Inachi, what happened? You were supposed to solve the problem, you were supposed to sell that and bring money, what happened? Rather, when you come back home, you have to face your wife whose face is probably swollen. Rather, you go and sit in the club, you will bring 2 rounds, and you speak about what Narendra Modi should do or what Trump should do. Because there nobody is discussing your problems, speaking about world problems and all the cricket problems and all that. So one thing you miss out is in family time, the relationship fall apart whenever you go through stress. Second, you give up on your health. Because you're so stressed, not able to sleep at night, you're not able to sleep at night, you're binge watching television, or you're hunting in the middle of the night, go to the refrigerator, open a eat all the sweets inside, milk, chips, all the nonsense you should not be eating. Either you're sleeping, you're not taking care of yourself, you're binge watching, you're eating the junk, next morning you don't have the strength to get up and do your morning routine. Because you're not completely trained. Completely trained over. Third, your spiritual connect. You start questioning your own faith. Lucky for me when I went through that. Again, I started investing quality time with my wife. So what if I didn't have money? I couldn't take her on international holidays on Asia. But taking her to Marina Beach and buying a 5 rupee sundal was not much. We couldn't go and eat out in restaurants, but taking a 5 rupee Maggi packet, making it for her, put a candle in. So invested time, quality time with her, building my relationship with my spouse, telling her my problem, challenge. She was also into different business, but she could understand what I'm going through. So I had the strength of my family backup, which was that my mother was a big strength. Second, all the frustration that I had, anger, go and pump it on kids twice a day, morning once, evening once. The best way to actually release stress is exercise. A lot of us don't realize that. We think exercise is going to take us down, so we go into sitting in the couch potatoes, watching televisions. But you need to exercise. You need to keep yourself fit because when you are exercising, action feeling cycle. You cannot get the right feeling, but you can get the right action. Action leads to feelings. Feelings will lead you back to action. When you do the action of exercising, there's something called a dopamine that's released. You feel good about yourself. You feel good about the way you're looking, how you feel. It elevates you. And third, spiritual connect. I started meditating. That was my first experience of actually sitting, meditating, and actually calming my mind. Because what happens, the mind is like a glass filled with, you take a glass of water, put soil or mud into it, and stir it. What happens to the water? What happens to it? It will become mucky water. In a mucky water, nothing is visible. Same water, you leave it to settle for about 20 minutes. What happens after that? Clarity. Same thing in the mind. A mind that's agitated with so many things. All the time you're so stressed because this is not happening, that is not happening. You're so stressed and so agitated. In an agitated mind, there's no clarity of thoughts. But if you let the same mind, mindfulness, if you let the same mind settle, give it time. Yes, thoughts will come, thoughts will come, thoughts will come. Let it settle, let it settle, let it settle, let it settle. The clarity of mind, you'll be able to find a solution. There is a way, and the way is on the way. Probably with the current maturity, you're not able to find the solutions to the problem you're facing right now. But there's something called progressive maturity. The more you believe there is a solution, and the solution is not going to come from outside, you need to find the solution. Because you got into the problem. You got yourself into the problem. Nobody put you into the problem. 99% of the problems in life are self-created. Whether it's a relationship problem, it's a financial problem, it's whatever you speak about, 99% you're the cause. You have created the problem. So you need to take complete responsibility. Stop blaming the world. Stop blaming your parents, your spouse, your government, your business, the market conditions, competition. Take complete responsibility for your life. My life is my responsibility. And no blaming. I will not blame anyone outside of me for the current circumstances I'm in. I have created the problem in my life. I will find a solution. I will not be able to find a solution today. But with the period of time of progressive maturity, as you say, there is a way, I will find a solution. I will find a solution. Settle down, think. You will be able to find a solution. So I've seen everything in life. At 54, you have lived a life. And life, believe me, is something like your ECG machine. It's like your heartbeat. The minute it goes like this, that means there's no life. A lot of people may be in the comfort zone. That is, their life is like this. Oh, I never had any problem. I never had. That is not living your life. Because if you are an ambitious person, if you are a person who's challenging your potential, you'll always face challenges higher than your current maturity level. You'll always face challenges higher than the current maturity level. So if anyone of you says, oh, no problem, everything going there, means you're not been tapping into your potential. It's a waste of human life. You were not born into life to be born in certain way and die the same way. You're dying, you should completely used up 100%, having lived life and experienced everything. I'm not saying that you should go through problems. I'm not saying don't invite problems to your life. But you will find challenges. How do you face challenges with courage? How do you face challenges with poise? How do you face challenges with grace? And telling yourself, I will face you, I will not run away from you, but I will come to the other side. I'm bigger than you. You're much bigger than your business, you're much bigger than your bank balance, you're much bigger than any problem you've ever faced. You need to have that faith in yourself. And put that will be the right solution.
I just wanted to know personally that how big your wardrobe is.
See, on one hand I speak about responsibleness and time. So one way of being responsible by ensuring that you have enough or more than enough. So I'm very, very, very conscious about what I pick up. That's the reason why I invest money and time into what I buy. It may be my own brand that I buy, but I still need to invest quality money and time so that whatever pieces I pick up are class, they're very expensive. A Rolex watch, a Boss shoes, it costs money. But you need to learn stuff. You need to learn stuff. Otherwise it makes no sense. Because what you will do with all the money that you have? If you don't know how to spend the money you have, already have, what do you do just gaining more of it? So you need to learn stuff. So I take, and I also regularly keep leasing products from my wardrobe, giving it away to people who have good use to it. But whenever I give it, it should be at least good as new. I don't want to give away, tattered clothes. I will never do that. So it has to be in good condition. Someone who needs it, someone who uses it, someone who respects it and love it is what I do.
So I had a question. So you were talking about the power.
Are you understood here?
Huh?
Are you understood here?
I guess.
What do you do?
So you were talking about the power of the subconscious mind. So I just wanted to know, like, which subconscious practice of yours helped you grow personally? Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm Jill. I'm doing my master's in biochemistry. So I'm in my last semester.
Congratulations and all the best.
Please, madam.
I can make out of this.
There is evidence.
So sweet. Okay. I've been doing this practice for the last about 10, 20 years now. I bought myself a student's attendance register. I know most of us hate it because attendance register, that pink color register, you have seen a lot of them. So I bought myself a student's register with them. Left hand side, you're supposed to write the names of all the students. On top, you're supposed to write the month. And then you have your 31 days that goes out there. So what I've done is, I've always believed in life, the only way you can achieve anything in life by working on your area of influence. What you can influence, you need to work on. Forget area of concern. You have hazard concern. I don't like what's happening in Ukraine. I don't like what's happening at, probably the rates that are happening and the weather condition in Delhi. I mean, that's all my area of concern. I cannot do anything about it. But I can work on the area of my influence. What are the influence I have? And the more I work on the area of influence, the larger the influence grows, encompassing other aspects of my life. So what are the areas of influence that I need to work on? And how do I ensure that I am doing justice to my day? Am I doing what is most important? I spoke so much big things about health, wealth, love, happiness, peace, all that. How am I ensuring that I'm tracking all these things? So what I've done is, and one more rule I have. 20% of your time in your day can ensure you're able to do everything. 80% is free. So if you're able to do what is important, if you're able to take care of what is important, the urgency will automatically be taken care of. But if you keep doing what is urgent, most of us live because urgency works on us. It's urgent, so I need to do it. We don't do what's important. What's important, I need to take care of health. What's important, I need to have a beautiful relationship. What's important, I need to do quality work time. What's important, I need to be happy Not just pretending to be happy, but ensuring happiness grows by sharing happiness. What do I need to do for people? So these are the aspects. So how do I absorb them? So I put 20 list of things that I do on a daily basis. Will I get up at the time I said I get up? First starting with that. What are my first thoughts? As soon as I get out of bed, I jump out of bed and get on my knees, thanking God for having given me another day at night. And now, how many millions of people went to sleep last night who did not wake up this morning? I remind myself, I have a roof on my head, I have a beautiful wife next to me, I have a son on the next door, I have a work to go to, I'm able, I'm healthy, I'm fit. What else do I need about? You trusted and gave me another day. I will do justice to the day. I have given my 100%. Thoughts of gratitude. And I'm starting my day with that. Because your journey, whatever your journey is, depends upon how you begin the journey. What is the beginning of the day? How do you look at it? Is it thinking about when will the alarm ring? Oh, another day. How, are you cursing yourself? Are you getting up with peace and happiness? Second is that, am I doing that? Third, am I investing time for going to the gym? Gym thrice a week. Am I investing time in doing yoga twice a day, every day? So it is a dinnercharya. I'm not missing a single day, 365 days. Even if I have to go 4 o'clock flight, I'll get up at 1 o'clock do my yoga. I will not. Night, even if I reach at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll do yoga only then go to sleep. No compromises. So health is no compromise at all. So am I doing that? Then am I sitting and meditating before I get to work? Am I preparing my mind? So I do something before I go to work. I dance. I put on music. I just dance for 5 minutes because dance is a beautiful way. When you dance, nobody can dance boringly. You feel happy when you listen to things. So I love to dance. I love to just feel myself because I don't want to go to work happy. Nobody likes an angry boss. Nobody wants a parking dog at work, at home, and sometimes we are. So at least awareness precedes change. So am I preparing my mind? So am I getting to work at the time I said I'll get to work, my time? Am I putting my top 6 for the day? I have a daily thing where I write the top 6. So I'm doing the top 6 for the month, top 6 for the week, top 6 for the day. Because what happens is urgency acts on you, you have to act on what's important. What you can do, only you can do. What others can do, they should be delegated. But what you have to do, are you actually doing that in work? So top 6 for the day. Top 6 for the month, from there top 6 for the day. Week, top 6 for the day. Am I doing that? Am I living my day by giving my 100% to my day? Am I ensuring that I'm working on my business? Am I ensuring I'm working on my other business? I have multiple businesses, so I'm working on that business. Am I living with prem, sat, chit, anand? Am I living a happy life with love? Sat. Am I aligning my life with the truth, the law of impermanence of fleeting life, that is, birth will not be controlled, death will not be controlled, the interval between birth and death is something that we co-author with life. Am I going to align to the truth of life? Because when you say the truth, you're free. When you start aligning, then you become a prisoner. So, I'm aligning myself, praying sat, chit, consciousness, awareness. Am I bringing awareness to my life? Am I bringing awareness to my thoughts? Am I being cognizant about what I'm speaking? Am I also ensuring that I'm not lusting, I'm not, my thoughts, my feelings, so continuously auditing to understand. And anand, happiness, blissfulness, parmanand, am I happy? So I'm aligned to bring such a anand. Then do I get back to from home to work by about 7:30? Am I investing quality time with my spouse, wife? Am I doing something to make my son feel special for the day? Am I reducing my technology time to 1 hour a day? Am I going to sleep by the time I said I'd sleep? Before that, am I sitting and introspecting in silence? Every night I sit and introspect to go through my whole day. I promise myself so many things when I woke up. To God, to myself. Did I do that? What is the quality of my life? Am I actually progressing in the right direction? And then am I sleeping on time? So I tick, not everything is a tick. I have had bad days, I have been a talk. But what happens is that awareness precedes change. So you know where you're going right, you don't know where you're going wrong. Because when someone else comes and tells you you're behaving like that, you get very offended, you start, you start defending yourself, you start defending your weaknesses. But when it's something internally, that means you're able to understand, I think I missed an exercise. It's not acceptable. Awareness. I think I became a barking dog, not acceptable. I did not make my son feel special today. It's okay. I know what I'm doing. Others will see change. So when you're doing this continuously, I've been doing it for 10, 11 years. I'm still nowhere close to enlightenment. Way away. But at least I know I'm living a quality of life that I think is nice. It's beautiful. I'm aware of how I'm living. So one practice that helps me align myself to live a better life. Any other questions or?
How is your regular activity like? You start your day at what time? That's the.
No, I'm not a very early riser. I'm more of a late bird. My wife tells me that she keeps searching and sending me, I don't know why your off button is. And then at 12 o'clock in the night, I'm like hyperactive, hyper energized. So she keeps wondering where the hell is the off button? How do off this guy from being so energized? I have a problem. I'm not a very early riser. I have typically at 6 o'clock. Where I get up. Yeah, I've got my own rituals for the day.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people say Brahma would get up at 4:30. No, 6 itself is too much for me. So I'm okay with 6. And I'm not a big team of early mornings. I work better in the night.
That's the piece where the thing where you're productive actually. The answers are coming when you're silent without
Quality. Each one needs to find when is their peak hours. Each one's peak hour is different. Somehow we make believe the Brahma Muhurta is peak hour. Brahma Muhurta is nothing but a creative hour. So what is your creative hour? For few people may be below the night, for few people may be morning, few people may be evenings. Find which is the most productive, the most creative hour. And during that time, do what is most important to you. Don't let that hour be where you're sitting. Probably if you're an evening person and you're sitting the evening time and watching television, you're wasting your most creative, most productive hour. So find out which is your Brahma Muhurta and accordingly realign yourself to what needs to be done. Mentors. I have a guru, Mahatma, who is the founder of Infinitism. So I've been going with him for spiritual retreats every year since 2008. So it's almost about 17 years. 17 years for 8 days we go into Manavar. So we cut off from the entire world, sit in silence, introspect. First time when I went, I did a Manavar for 8 days. I got scared looking at myself because you're able to see a mirror, not literally mirror, but you're able to see yourself when you're silent and you're able to see who you are, how you think, how you feel, and how you behave. A feeling of as I'm living like an animal, I'm not aware of so many things I was doing. So that awareness came in from there to be a journey. It's good, 8 days when you're able to introspect, and 8 days when you're able to go deep within, it helps you reach it. So if you want to really understand spirit, of course, you can do this infinitism.com. A lot of videos are available, and they also have satsangs on Sunday. Satsang is no singing and all that. It's a discourse between 10 and 11 o'clock, 11 every Sunday. You can also attend to it. It's a life transforming experience.
Hi, my name is Joseph. The question that I have is, you talked about a few years back, you had hit the lowest point in your life, right? Running loss of 35 crores and so on. And then you started focusing more towards the family and everything, right? What I want to understand is what are the 3 things that you have done at that point in time where you have come back to the normal position?
When you're driving the car and going in the wrong direction, you go full speed because you're not going to you're going the wrong direction. So you go at 120 on the highway, full speed, you go to a certain distance. Imagine you don't have a GPS and you don't have Google with you when you're driving. And then you realize, hey, I was supposed to go to Bangalore, this is showing some other showing Hyderabad. So I've come in the wrong direction, I'm going the wrong direction. So what do you don't have Google, you don't have phone, you don't have any other thing. So you say, okay, I probably missed a turn, so I need to come back. Take a U-turn, you stop every now and then, ask people, Anna, I want to go to Bangalore Highway in the side. You say, go there, go for another 10 kilometers, you'll find. But you will not go at the same speed at which you went. This time you go at 60, 70, not going where the turn comes. You go slow, Then you ask one more person, even if you see the term, you ask one, Anna, and then you know. When you are doing a mistake, you never realize mistake. You will do a mistake and you create full speed. But when you want to come out of that and want to rectify yourself, it takes time. So when you want to do that, you need to have patience. Whether it was my marriage, or whether it's a financial crisis, or whether we speak about health, everything takes time to fix. So first is have patience. There are no ambitious goals, there are only ambitious timelines. So most of the time why we get disappointed with ourselves is that we fix timelines which are unrealistic and then we feel we're not achieved it, whether it's a good goal. And we say, okay, we want to be healthy. Whatever your definition of healthy is. For me, healthy is not about weight, but it's functional fitness. Am I fit? Am I able to do all the activity of my life the way I want to do without my body reminding me to be like I say, my hunna. You should not remind me. I'm asking myself this question. So one thing is there are no ambitious goals, there are only ambitious timelines. So when I wanted to come back, so I asked myself the question, Vijay, where did I go wrong? So I realized that what I went wrong was my strategy. I created a national, international brand, opened up all the top malls across the country, whether it was Phoenix Market City, Innorbed, DLF malls, and in 2010, 2011 when we were expanding, mall was still something very new in the country. Malls were still not established. We didn't have. EA Mall was just opening at the back. They had a store even in EA Mall. So malls were just opening up at that point of time. And malls were themselves understanding what a mall culture is. So they'll force you to open a store and for next 2 years they will still keep renting all the premises. Interiors will be happy, customers will not even come in because there's so much of dirt and dust all over the place. But they expect you to pay rentals. So that's why we lost money. So we lost money in a strategy of getting into malls, into a culture that is still happening. Today, all the malls are doing well. Today, they understand if you need to open a mall, you need to have about 80% occupancy. Only then they'll launch a mall. Everything has to be ready. Those days are not that, and we pay the price. So it's strategy mistake. So when I withdrew and came back, my question is, how do I ensure I get done with the tips? Second, very important, financial professionals, so you know, it's very important for you to have income and you need to have supplementary income. Right? You need to have one main income that you have, and you also need to create an income that works for you everywhere, whether it's a share, whether it's your property, whether it's your real estate, whatever it is. So I also started a real estate firm at that point of time. When one was falling, the other one was rising. So I created one of the best buildings in the city, and we won global awards for it, and massive project about 240 to 50 crores. So that really took off for me. So I took a lot of risk. Had that gone wrong, I have completely got track. But that gave me the real estate venture taking off. The risk that I took at that point of time worked for me. So that came in support. So the realization is you need to have multiple sources of income so that at any point of time you don't get jacked completely. So then re-strategizing. How do I come out of the problem? And Derby is more of a passion for me. It's something that I'm very passionate about. So how do I bring it back? How do I re-strategize it? How do I get relaunch a brand? How do I take it forward? How do I ensure nobody suffers or nobody in the world should suffer from my problem? Because today what happens is it's so easy to go through bankruptcy. It's so easy to tell your vendors that I cannot pay you. It's so easy to tell your creditors that I can't pay you. And that's how most of the people do bankruptcy code. As in, I believe in karma. I believe that I got into the problem. I need to take responsibility. So I ensure I pay each one of them, including the interest, to whatever it is. Manage to clear everyone, go through, pay slowly, it's taken time.
Alright, thank you.
No? Thank you.
So thanks a lot, Vijay Kapoor sir. It was really, everything was there, inspiration was there, leadership was there, emotional touch was there. So like I recently Dharmendra Day, so Sole comes to my mind. If you will see Sole, you will get everything. So in this, literally, your journey was also inspirational. Like downfall, again rise, downfall, rise. So that is the thing which we have to learn in our life. And you are saying that 5.5 height, no sir, too tall sir, too tall to reach. Anyway, so literally sir, this was really good, and expect that I may need you because I am part of Rotary also, and our Rotary Club is also good doing, and I may reach out to you in for that Rotary things also. So really very nice journey. We were able to listen and your life lesson and all. So both like from zero to hero, Madam's journey was also like that. Zero to hero, so that was really good thing to listen. Now I would request actress Priyadarshini Madam to enlighten us.
Thank you so much, Harish sir. Hi everyone. I am Priyadarshini, and I didn't know what to expect when I came here. So FinPros, this wonderful organization, and thank you sir for inviting me. And I came in, I walked in when Madam was speaking, and I was like, wow, that's a really inspirational journey, going from selling vacuum cleaners to where she is today, running companies. That's really amazing. And sir, your journey was really phenomenal. I can't say, first of all, very stylish, and of course, you've achieved so much, and that's why you are. But I have to say, I really like the glasses and all. That is the real touch for me. So thank you. Very inspiring. I feel so happy that I accepted this to be here today. So friends, coming back to FinPros. May I just keep this little interactive, if that's okay? So I just want to know a little bit about you guys. You're mainly from finance background, or like sales, or there's a mixture of people from different. Mixture of people. Finance means numbers, loans. Finance means numbers and like loans and those kind of things.
It will cover everything in
Corporate
finance.
finance.
It will cover everything in finance, starting from loans and wealth management and treasury management.
Right.
You have GST, you have accounting, you have everything.
Okay, so people from everything to do with numbers.
But today's crowd is not only finance, it is also the other industries.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you guys. Bye-bye. Love you all. The program is up. Yeah, the group photo is very managing. You check everything on group photo. Yeah, please. Everyone, that's better. I think we need to. You have photo எடுத்துக்கிறீங்களா? Thank you. Come, join us. Come. Why do? Come and do this.
எல்லா முகமும் தெரியும்.
Smile, please. Thank you.
Put this down.
I guess we'll give it a couple of minutes. So I see a lot of young people here. You are. Wow, fantastic. And you, ma'am?
I'm my own company into interiors and sustainability products.
Wow, sustainability products. That's fantastic. So very nice to be part of your organization, to be here at the organization. I think because of the bad weather, a lot of people are not here today, right? I had a few people reach reached out to me when they saw the poster and they said, oh, they're saying orange alert, maybe, we won't be able to come. So anyway, it's very nice to be here today. I don't know the first thing I spoke to Paresh sir was, I come from a very different background. Like I come from creativity, cinema, media. I don't know what I have that I can offer the people in this audience, But what can I say here that would inspire people here or resonate with them? So what I decided to do is actually keep it a little interactive and share you my journey and how things happen in my life, okay? Taking it forward to this. So, I don't know whether I should start or wait another minute.
We'll just wait for 1 minute, I
Yeah.
think they are all.
Yes. What do you do, sir?
I'm an investment banker. I worked in Wells Fargo recently. I'm thinking of starting my own investment bank.
Wow, that sounds great. So how's the market going right now for investment?
Market's going fine. That will always be there. Cyclical will be there, but
Because with all the ups and downs
Yes.
of the financial markets, with Trump and his economy and
Yes.
blah blah. Thank you.
Sorry about this.
No. That's absolutely fine. He was an amazing speaker, and I would have rushed behind it if this was my program as well. So very, very nice to hear from him. Thank you for inviting me, sir. So I decided that I will just share something from my life, okay? Because I have a very different background to many of the people here. But one thing we have in common is that most of us are not in jobs. Most of us are having or running our own companies as entrepreneurs. So similarly, as an actor, I am like an entrepreneur. I'm like a contractor. Okay? So that's probably the only main reason, the main thing that connects us. So going back to many, many years ago when I was a very young child, the good old days, I used to watch a lot of movies. Do you guys like movies?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Tamil
Absolutely.
movies?
Yes.
Hindi movies? Tamil movies.
Tamil movies.
Who's your favorite actor? Anybody else? Kamal? Okay.
Surya.
Kamal, yes, nobody knows Vijay, Ajit, no, AK, no? Okay,
Ajit
okay.
and Surya. Surya.
Okay. No, I just wanted to liven up the thing here. So the reason I'm also from that generation where we were like die-hard Taliban and Kamal fans, and that comes from the time when there was only Doordarshan on television, and there was only the Saturday and Sunday there would be a movie on Saturday and Sunday.
But Friday is like
Hearts and all of them would be happening, right? So this was my go-to thing, So the Saturday, Sunday movie I would never miss. And we never went out very much to see movies in theaters. But I really believe every time that I saw a movie, that one day I would be there. I believe this. Like, I still remember, I really believe that I would be singing those duets with Kamal Hassan and all that. But this is something I really believe that will happen in my life. Of course, as I grew up, I loved to do theater. So I went to school and I would be in the dramas. And in the dramas, what would happen is they even had a drama. I don't know, did anybody go to ICSE? Did you do ICSE syllabus? You did?
But my children do.
You do, okay. So they had this famous Shakespeare drama called Julius Caesar. You familiar with Julius Caesar?
Yes.
So in Julius Caesar, there's a character called Mark Antony. Okay, so the school decided to put up a play. The school decided to put up a play. And in the play, they auditioned the class, the students for the different characters. And I decided who auditioned for Mark Antony. You know why? Because none of the female characters were interesting. And actually I performed the best at the audition. So I got the role, although there were so many male choices. That's the day I realized that this is what I want to do. Okay. So sometimes what I learned from that experience, don't let your thoughts limit you. Yeah? I could have said, oh, there's no female parts, and just sat down there. But no, I decided that, so what? I can try out for a male part. I can try out for the part that inspires me most, right? So I went there, auditioned for Mark Anthony, and I got selected for Mark Anthony. And I played Mark Anthony in school. So this for me was a very, very important first stepping stone. However, like most families in India, they fear for their daughters when they decide to say, I want to go into movies, right? So what happens is, my parents also said the same thing. They said, no, I don't think this is the right field for you. You do as much theatre as you want. You do as much drama, but no, not movies and media. That time television was just starting to come up properly in India. They call the Sun TVs and Raj TVs were all in their elementary stage. And my Tamil was so bad. There's no way I could be an actor, an anchor, or anything on television. Okay. But the love is very strong. The heart was deep. And I forgot to mention one thing. When I used to watch those movies, right? About, the Hindi movies and other movies. So I used to go around in my garden. I used to hug the trees and go singing all those songs, right? I did all that. I'm sure a lot of us have done that, right? Okay. One day the tree had Kamikuchi on it. So when I hugged it, I got a full allergy. That's the day I stopped hugging the trees. Okay, so I had to learn the hard way not to do it. Going forward in my life, I went overseas for many years. But when you watch something from your heart, you really believe that it happened for you. It will happen for you. When I returned to India after many years, suddenly an opportunity to work in films came up. I used to model in small different ads when I was much younger. But after a big gap when I came back in my 30s, I got an opportunity to work in a Tamil film. And I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, this is a movie. And because of the fear that my parents had put into me, about, this is not a safe place for women, etc. The first film I did was a movie called Remo. Have you heard of this movie, Remo? Shiva Karthikeyan plays a nurse. Yeah? Very popular. So it was a big budget movie and I got selected to be a character in that movie. And that was my first re-entry back into Tamil cinema. So when I started this, when I went to this, they told me, you have night shoot. Night shoot. Like, they are going to start at 8 p.m. and finish at 6 a.m. in the morning. So my parents asked me, why you're not shooting the day? Because the sequence is at night, but I was like, oh my God, night shoot. I took a male bodyguard along with me. So this was my first day at shooting. This is how I feared. But then I realized that this industry was so comfortable and safe when it is done in a big way. And I, at that point, also realized that when I stood in front of the camera, this is where I want to be. This is my calling. This is my purpose. I had not felt like that anywhere else. At that time, when I returned to India, I was working in corporates. I was working for my uncle's firm. And he had a firm, like it was a pretty boring job for me. Because let me tell you, many people don't like their jobs. They hate Mondays because they have to get up and go to work. Okay, I don't know how many people have experienced that. Can I have a raise of hands? If you've ever been in a job yeah. So I'm not alone, okay? So this was beautiful. Coming to work was not nice. So my uncle, I was working for my uncle's company. So I started taking time off for my movies. And then one day he calls me. He said, what the hell, your work is not done. So much pending work and you are just sitting and saying movies. And at that point, I was going to go and start the biggest project of my life called Kavan. I needed 30 days to go. I had good success in the beginning, worked with the best in my start. Just luck, you know. So I was going to go start this movie, and I'm saying, actually, I need 30 days more leave. And he's saying, what the hell? What's wrong with you? What's got into you? You're like 35 years old. You have you have a mortgage, you have a young baby, you have all these things happening in your life. And you want to leave this comfort of this job. And you want to go and do movies. At that point, what did I have to do? I had to take a decision. A decision to fall back and do what everybody else does, that they sacrifice their dreams, or I could have that dream, that special dream. So that decision, I took that day. And that decision was hard at that time, because why? I'm going to live my dream. But everybody believes that the dream is happily ever after. Is it? Two boy and girl fall in love. Yeah? Finally the families agree, they get married. Do they live happily ever after? Do they live happily ever after? Actually. No. A few days later they'll fight. And they say, why I married you? And all that, right? This happens. So that's how life is. But the thing is, I'm living my dream. And there are hardships, there are hurdles that come and go. Following my dream, very shortly what happened is, I used to go for a lot of events. And when I went for these events, like opening of a shop or some new venture, I came across a grooming school. A grooming school that actually developed people into ramp models, gave opportunities for people to develop themselves in actors or something. I was like, damn it, when I was young, there was nothing like this. I wish I had something like this. And I said, I need to do this. Am I too old to do this? No. That's okay, let me ask. And they said, no problem, come, do it. So I did a course. And I was about 40 at that time, 40 to 41. When I finished the course, auditions for Mrs. India came up in Delhi. And my people who did the course, they requested me to apply for it. And I decided to apply. Okay? So when I applied for those, the first thing that my husband told me, you're going for Miss India with that body? Okay? I said, yes. Yes, I am. So I'm saying to you that the only limitation that I ever faced was in my mind. I went for that. And in my age category, I won the title in 2008. I was not this big, I was a little bit smaller, but I was not good by any chance. Okay, I did it solely because I believed. That's all. And even when I started my career in films, first couple of films later, many people said, you know what? You lose weight, you get more roles. You know, maybe you can learn Tamil a little better, and then you will get more roles. You know, these kind of things. Because my accent, how much ever I try to learn Tamil, I have an accent. And I had some mannerisms that were not actually Tamil, because I'm not a Tamil origin. But I had passion for it. Okay? So then I saw a speech by Anand Spashman. Now he was a man who came from Australia, right? And he made it big in Hollywood. So when he arrived in Hollywood and wanted to become an actor, right? What happened? The first thing he got told, who's going to hire you with that body? Who looks like this? Which hero looks like this? But there was an amazing script that came up called Conan the Barbarian. And guess who fitted into that character? The entire country of the United States of America. It was only Anand Spashman who could do it. And Arnold Schwarzenegger said that whatever was my weakness, whatever they said to me was my weakness, became my plus in my life. So the first thing, he said, when your body is like this, you can't speak like an American used to be Austrian, right? The next thing, big thing that he did, name a great film that he did, please. Terminator, Oscar is available, right? Now, he had an Austrian accent. That Austrian accent sounded robotic. And that voice was the success of that character. This grim German Austrian expression, no smile, and the fact that he had that very robotic Austrian accent was the reason for his success. So I totally believe at every given point that whatever people today are calling the minus in me will become my plus one. And it happened. I'll tell you how it happened. First of all, as life went by, people got used to it. People got used to it that Priyadarshini is like this. Priyadarshini is this person. Priyadarshini doesn't have to lose weight or gain weight to be who she is. Okay? So people started offering those for being a gap. Number two, I started because of my unique speaking of Tamil, started to create any kind of character that was not in the dictionary, like not the mummy character or the usual doctor character or this. Anything that was out of the box would come to me. Right? So that was my strength. I am very proud to say that in an industry where people say, oh my gosh, I'm being typecast all the time. Every time I get to be a policeman, every time I get to be a doctor, every time I get to be a judge. In this kind of industry, I'm very happy to say that every role I did was different. And that's really living life. Okay, about my big size, okay? This became my plus in a movie called Jawan. Did you see a movie called Jawan?
Yeah.
Who was in it? Shah Rukh Khan. Shah Rukh Khan and Nayanthara. So, in that movie, there were so many stars that chote people like us, if we managed to get a little bit screen time, oh wow, I was in Jawan. You understand? Because we are very small. There must have been 20 big stars in that movie. And so we are on the pecking order, we are at the bottom on that movie. But because of my build, Director Atli gave me a huge gun, 20 kilos. Okay? And that gun was the gun that was used in the movie Predator. You see that Afro guy, he fires out everybody, right? Okay, so that gun was used in that movie. And Salman Khan also used it in the movie Tiger. After that, I was holding that gun. And because I was holding that gun, he gave me this last shot, okay? That I turn around like that, and I would put it in my mouth like that, okay? Holding that huge gun. So, I could not have got that if I was skinny. That moment of glory, and right after they show a close-up of Shah Rukh Khan, that's the first thing they show, me in close-up, holding out that gun. So, even that few seconds, that close, the strength of that gun, it gave me the great, satisfaction that I did something that women my age could never have done. Not even if you're in the IPS. I don't think you'll handle a gun like that. Okay? So these are the things that gave me that happiness and satisfaction. And I do something that other people have not been able to do. So my life lessons, I'm just winding up, I know we will spend a long time today, is first of all, I had a dream. And that dream was so strong that it manifested later in my life. When I thought it will not happen, it came to me by itself. I took a decision. Second thing, I took a decision to follow that dream. Some of us here are entrepreneurs because our families are entrepreneurs, but some of us took a decision to leave that job cycle and become an entrepreneur. And that is a very big decision because the risks involved to being an entrepreneur from China. But you're actually living like what he said. You have not lived unless you faced and pushed yourself to that potential. So I did that. Now, I'm using everything that was told that was negative about me as a positive. I played an Anglo-Indian lady because of my anglicized behavior. You understand? I got in one of the landmark films today. It's called Sarpeta Paramare. It was ranked second all over the world in action films on Amazon Prime. And it won heaps of awards. So I played an Anglo-Indian lady. I was selected for that character because I fit into all these odd characters where nobody else fits in. You cannot cast Saranya Bonmandan in that character. You got it? So everything that people
Just
say.
for people's understanding, she fits into all the, lovely mother's characters. Saranya.
Saranya Bonmandan is a very senior actress, very lovely actress and great actress. But she's the most popular mommy in Tamil films. So I'm just trying to share that maybe she could not have done that. So I'm very proud that I am the go-to person for all the out-of-the-box things. And I hope that continues, and I hope my journey continues for many, many years. And lastly, I think the main thing that you have to do is just believe. Believe in yourself when no one else does. Like if I had sat down and I had said that, with that body you're going to go for Mrs. India, I couldn't even have even thought of participating or being on that stage. So believe in yourself. Have confidence. It's okay. It's okay if I go and blunder, but I tried. This is what I learned in my life. And I'm going to keep making all those mistakes over and over again. And one day I will do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks, madam. Again, listening to you was also a pleasure for us because you started like your journey like you said that this is the task which nobody want to do. I will do it. That was the big thing which was I guess to say inspirational thing, and believe in yourself. Somebody is saying, say like your husband is saying, but no, believe in yourself. I'll go and get that was there also. People will say, no, somebody is body shaming. They think, no, you think that is my positive thing. Get the positivity out of that. You are saying, I stood this thing, taking the gun and also all that brings positive energy or positive thought. We people know that we are playing with our work and all from Monday to Friday. So if Saturday is becoming this one, no, we are coming Monday, Tuesday, because I was the first, this thing when you say this thing, hey, that's one month. No, but this is the job, this is training and all. My daughter want to say one, this thing.
I just wanted to add one thing that 2 years back I was in a pattern called FinPros. Oh, so yeah, I was in the finale and like I was decon with the same people, the jury. I'm happy to see you again and like.
That she wanted to say something.
Yeah, I feel like it was really inspiring in some ways, so I just want to add that point. So thank you so much for this. And the thing is that moving on to the next session, we just have a 2-minute session of Mr. Abhishek Ideas Plan.
That is a sponsored event. Mr. Kavi says he is a sponsor for us.
Thank you for sponsoring and please sponsor more.
Thank you, FinPros Network and Naresa and Lorenza for the opportunity to be a part of the event. So IFC is one of the growing bank in India. So we generally push up the concept of the first in banking sector, the digital onboarding. Our first ideologies we bring in the banking sector. Since you have seen the pamphlets in your table with the receipt cards. So you can just look into it and you can just go through the features that we done in the first thing. No, we're not going to remember it. So we have presented you the pamphlets with that slide in front of you, the whole event. You would have seen that. So the best thing is we have brought the proper standing here. The best thing is there's a Bravo feature in your current accounts, the business accounts you do, that is which gives you 6.30% of interest with fixed deposits with the auto keeping support facility of the account balances you maintain. 6.30 is one of the highest in the market interest rate for a current account or a business account, and 7% for a savings account, any individual savings account. At zero fee banking is something we follow. The zero fee banking is something like you don't get charged for anything in the bank, like starting from SMS charges, home branch concept. You don't have the home branch concept. You can do anywhere banking. Starting from Anbumathi to Kashmir, anywhere you can step into any of the IDFC branches and take any of the services at free of cost. You won't be charged anything. Unlimited ATM withdrawals and some more NEFT IMPS at free of cost up to 36 services that you get charged in any of the competition tax. You get it free of cost in IDFC First Bank. And moreover, the kind of closed banking, and we also provide OD and business loan facilities which will be helpful for youth people, business people. So you can reach out to the contact number provided in the visiting card that's placed in your table. That's Yuvraj, one of my colleagues. He was Ajit. He was needs to give you his native, so he has left. So I am from the marketing team of IDFC First Bank. We are sponsored for the event, and once again thank you for the opportunity. And do contact us for all the banking services and needs unit. Also refer your friends so that we can grow with you. Starting business people, banks will grow with you and we will help you with all your banking needs. Thank you. Thank you.
And so we have dinner is upstairs in restaurant, and we will be having fellowship here. Those who want to take